When people refer to electronic music, they usually refer to they refer to the instruments they use, electronic instruments, and also, and probably more importantly, they refer to the sounds. So all the sounds they use are sounds produced with a synthesizer, so sounds produced electronically, meaning that they don't use a bass, or a guitar, or a piano, or like an acoustic drum. That is, I would say, the main, if you want, source of definition of electronic music, the rational. But I like to think about electronic music also in terms of composition mode. So how can you associate, electronic music to composition? So, in my opinion, it is very much about a series, numerical series even, that are, behind electronics, and it's about modules, it's about repetition. It is about very much into the sound itself, meaning that the sounds is not like a mean of portraying a melody or supporting a melody, but it's the melody itself. You can hear different electronic musicians that just play one note, for example, and then you ask yourself, what the hell is that? But actually, if you hear well, that note is transforming. Maybe they are opening or closing the filter, or the resonance, or any other sound parameter. So if we talk about electronics in terms of composition, it is both about the schemes, so about the layout of a song. It must be very repetitive, one line stacked upon the other, but also it's about using the sound as if you want a piece of art itself. And this is something that has been, basically invented 50, 60 years ago, when electronic music was born in, within the classical definition of music. Yeah. I started studying music when I was young, at the age of 7. I started playing the violin, although I wanted to play piano, but piano classes were sold out, were fully booked, so I had to turn to the violin. And also I had to study music theory. So then at the age of 11, I entered the Conservatory of Music, and I stayed there, for like 4 or 5 years. Then I became like a ill-educated guy, so I quit the music school. And then, I continued studying piano by myself. At the same time, when I was like 15, 16, I joined like a rock and roll music band, and I play music until the age of with that band until the age of 30, more or less. And then there has been like a long break of many years, and this is why when I was talking about the concept of the Dipnoi fish, I said that I like the idea that this is an animal that hibernates for a long period and then goes back to a normal life condition. Then I totally quit any kind of instruments like guitar and whatever, and I focused only on electronic music, and I started writing pure instrumental music, electronic instrumental music, and then after a while I wanted to somehow consolidate my skills, somehow my desire to become a musician. So this is how I started playing like Dipnoi Fish, and I started writing songs for my first album. So that is kind of my musical background, and I this means also that I like that my preference in terms of music is kind of wide. You know, the spectrum is very, very open, meaning that I like classical music, clearly, you know, because of my initial studies. I like rock music, I like electronic music, I like jazz music. So because I had this kind of long musical evolution.